Oh, so you had something you wanted to lead off on?
Oh, yeah, okay, so...
Something that popped in your brain?
Yeah, and I think this happened while you were gone. Facebook is changing its name, right?
Yes.
The company.
I have heard.
Yes, and the reason that I want to talk to you about this, they're changing their name to Meta. You know about this, obviously.
Yeah, I just found out about this last night. I don't really know why.
Probably because people hate Facebook.
That'd be my guess.
Are they actually gonna like publicly rebrand?
So the
Or
company
is this gonna be
itself, the company itself is going to change its name to Meta, but the app and the website is still going to be called Facebook. So the product is still Facebook, but it's kind of like how Alphabet owns Google. It's the same idea, except it's just been one company the whole time instead of purchasing of another one.
Oh yeah.
So
shout out Roosters in the chat. He says, "Yo."
Hi.
Thank you for joining us. So in the video debut of this, right, Mark Zuckerberg is standing in his office, and then he posts a bunch of virtual stuff. And have you seen the video?
Yeah.
The debut of this.
Yes.
Yes.
I think I just saw this, and it's so funny in Discord last night. I
So-
just found out about this.
Yes. So
What
in
up,
that
Will?
video, right, he shows the digital version of himself, and then they go and they're playing poker and they're fucking doing whatever, right? So not a month ago, we just talked about the show, whatever the show is called, because now I can't even remember. But it's
Yeah, it's like a newer show, right?
I can't for the life of me remember what it's called, but it's a singing show where instead of you're seeing the real people, they are able to make their own digital avatar, and that's what the judges are seeing. And God damn it, I can't remember what the
I'll
fucking
look it
show
up
is
again.
called. My wife is the one that told me. That's the only reason I knew what it was called, was because she commented.
Wait, this is an actual
It's
TV
an
show?
actual television show that is on right now. It is a network television show.
I don't watch
Alter Ego.
Alter Ego.
I don't know.
Yes, so it's called Alter Ego, and it's a singing show, but instead of you, if you're the judge, instead of you seeing me, I get to make my own digital avatar that could be an alien, whatever color skin, hair, whatever the fuck you want it to look like. That's what you're seeing, but you see my voice, and then there's like some motion capture, and so you can see the moves, and you can hear the voice, but you don't see...
But VR shit, right?
So when we talked about this, we're like, oh, that's kind of cool. And I'm like, no, it's not cool. This is prepping us for Ready Player One. What's that called? The Oasis, right? This is prepping us for being prepared to see digital versions of one another even more outside of the TV.
The singularity,
Yes.
right? Isn't
Maybe
that the whole
it's-
thing? They want us to merge with the...
Exactly.
They want us to merge with technology. I mean, I think that
Into the metaverse.
I think that
Into
there's
the
like an
metaverse.
inherent instinct in most of us that's like kind of like repulsed by it. Like some people are definitely drawn to it. When I was younger, I remember reading like Ray Kurzweil and being like, yes, this is the next step of evolution and like all of that shit. Actually, hold please, my laptop's dying.
Oh no. Ray Kurzweil. I like that pull out.
Yeah, but now I feel like I don't know, but my ideas on that has shifted a lot, like on technology and the merging of it, and it probably came from doing a lot of acid. I feel like you start to see
That'll
things
do
a
it.
little differently.
Makes sense.
When you like take some like psychedelics and you start like seeing things just like a little differently, and you're like, oh,
Yes.
Mhm.
maybe that's not the move. Because you start seeing like the spiritual aspect of things, which I believe is actually there. Personally, I'm very spiritual. So I think that if you have that spiritual grasp, like the concept of merging with technology is like kind of, it doesn't feel right. It's just intuitively feels off.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like obviously to a degree, we're like, you know, like cyborg arms and all of that shit. Like it's going to happen to a degree, but I think that when it comes to like merging our minds, that would only work if we don't have souls, which personally I believe that we do. You know?
Oh yeah,
So-
that's the Neuralink, man.
Okay, right. So I was
Yeah.
going to say, so my fears are doubled down, first of all, by Neuralink. We'll get
Yeah.
to that in a second. But by this Facebook thing, when he's showing, well, now we're just going to, this is how people are going to meet and converse and fucking whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
One thing, it's like Twitch is one thing where they're seeing a real person, right? Like they're watching
Well,
you.
not always. VTubers.
That's true. That's true. So most of the
get me
time,
started.
right, you're seeing at least a real person, or they're at least dressed up, or you know, they're cosplayed. there's something, right? This new metaverse thing that Facebook is talking about is taking this alter ego thing, in my opinion, right? And this is totally a conspiracy thing of mine, but it freaked me the fuck out. I don't like it. And taking it one step further of like, we'll just take that person and now this is just where you're at. Meet all your friends in the metaverse. Do all your shit here. Just have everyone meet here. You know what I'm saying? And then this
instead of
Neuralink
seeing
thing.
people in person, like maybe the pandemic was like a prep for
Yes.
us to just like learn how to live
Yes.
in our houses and never leave. Which to a degree, like, I mean, I kind of do that anyway, but like, I still like believe that like congregating and having events is very important, and having like,
Yes.
and unfortunately, I feel like the one issue is like even events like with our generation and stuff, it's basically just like going out and like getting fucked up and like massive groups and like listening to music where you can't hear anything, you know, like, and
Right.
and then there's like that disconnect. But personally, I think like having events is very important, and like that we're never gonna get that experience, that like energetic charge that you get from people via a computer, like via VR.
I agree.
I just don't see it happening. I don't think that there's always going to be something missing. I think that there's always going to be that desire to still be with people in person.
Yeah, because even in those big crowded parties, you know, thinking about like the old bonfire parties I used to go to where everybody's sitting around the bonfire and you could really only talk to the person like next to you. And even then you're having to be really, you know, loud because somebody's got their truck doors open and they're cranking some fucking Hank Williams or some shit. You can't hear anything. But it's still the person-to-person interaction, you know, even when you can't hear people, is still there. You know, there's still bodies there. You're still looking at people's eyes. You know, there's still body language involved. And to some extent, you lose a little bit of that, like during the pandemic when it first started. You know, we had a big group chat that ended up going for like 5 hours one day with all my buddies, and you know, all the couples and all that stuff were all on there. We had a conversation I don't think we would have ever had in person, but it was like it's still different, but
there is an intimacy to this, like, or to the communicating online.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, and I mean, there's a lot of good things about it. Like, you're on the other side of the country and we could do this now, but but the minute you put that virtual avatar up in
That's
front,
what I'm saying.
That's where you're crossing a line that is just really uncomfortable.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Is that the separation that you are talking about, that I agree is there, of this, where even with this, there is an intimacy with this. People have Skype sex and stuff like that. There is absolutely an intimacy that you can establish there, even over the computer. But there is something that is always going to be lacking. But if then all you've ever known of somebody, you could be catfished and shit like that, you know what I'm saying? So if you can fall in love with somebody over the internet, and now if all you've ever known of this person is their avatar, and you're getting then the body language because they're like, oh, well, tee-hee, or whatever, you know, whatever the flirty thing is that you're looking for, that you can then see on, obviously I'm not good at, but whatever you're looking for, you can see. And so
yeah, it's kind of making me think of, you know how on TikTok now they have all like these crazy pronouns, like I saw someone has like demon pronouns.
Oh yes.
Like, they're like, call me dem and dem self and all that stuff.
Yes.
But it's kind of like they almost want us to get to this point where, at least with an avatar, you can be whoever you want. You could be a boy demon. You could be whatever the fuck you want in like this avatar world, instead of actually like being yourself in reality. So if you're unhappy with who you are, don't worry. You can just be an avatar on the internet and you can make it be whatever the fuck you want, instead of working on yourself and like actually like doing shit in the real world. You know?
Oh yeah.
And you referenced the pandemic earlier, right? Keeping people in their houses and stuff like that. And if you are of the mindset that a lot of people are, that COVID is a very dangerous form of COVID, is never going to go away, right? Like, it's always going to be an active danger in our lives to be very scared of this all the time. There are some people, and I just heard about this, I think that it was Michael Malice interviewing James Lindsay on his show.
Oh, yeah.
You're Welcome, right? And they were talking about that there are actual opinion pieces being written that say if we don't do anything about the pandemic, then in 5 years, 95% of the people will die. Some people really believe that in 5 years, 95% of the world will die from COVID. If you don't do, people, I swear to God, there are really people that believe that.
I've had COVID multiple times and I'm good. Like,
I've also had COVID. Colin's had COVID. So if you are of that mindset, right, and you're doing all of the things and you think that, I got to get everything, I got to double mask, I got to do everything, because if we don't do anything, 95% of the people on the planet are going to die, then you are probably more likely to stay at home because you're scared.
Yeah.
And potentially more likely, these are a lot of ifs, this is a lot of conjecture, it's a lot of whatever, but potentially more likely to take up this avatar thing is like, well, this is just where I'm at now, because at least I can get fulfillment from. And if you don't want a blue-haired, red-skinned avatar, you can go to the metaverse on Facebook, where it's just you. It's a picture of you. It's your Bitmoji or whatever the fuck, and you can just pick its outfit, and you can go to the poker room, and you're good to go.
And
it's so doubled that, right? Like you said, was Neuralink. Do you know what Neuralink is?
Yeah, the Elon Musk shit.
Yes.
I love how Elon Musk is so funny, because he's like, this is the biggest danger, AI. But he's like, but I'm going to make the thing that's going to be kind of the thing that's also the most dangerous. It's like, bro, like, if you know this is the thing that's the most dangerous, why are you making it?
Yes.
Like,
that's why he's the true supervillain.
I know. He's just like, by the way, this thing might fuck up humanity. But, like, I'm just going to keep making it.
Right.
This is the dude that with, like, one tweet. Yeah. This is the dude that with one tweet can alter the entire crypto world in one fucking tweet and make people lose millions of dollars or gain millions of dollars.
Yeah.
I know.
I'm still a fan.
So I've got concerns. I've got concerns about the convergence of technology. It obviously doesn't stray me from hosting a podcast. Everything we do is over the internet.
Right.
We're doing all this, but it's just a weird deal.
It's a balance.
I'm gonna shut this light off, maybe. This will be helpful.
Like, I think that there has to be a balance. Like, obviously, I don't think technology is evil. I think technology is neutral.
It's a tool.
And it's all about how you use it. Yeah, it's a tool. Everything's like neutral. It's not inherently bad or good. It's just technology, and like, it's how we use it that makes it bad or good.
Right.
And I think that, like, that's kind of the issue, is that some people are looking at it like, all technology is bad, and some people are looking at it, well, technology is our savior, when it's just like, actually, I think it's just like, it can be used in a good way, but we probably shouldn't. One, I don't even know if it's possible. Like, this whole concept of, like, what Ray Kurzweil wanted to do was basically saying that all we are is our memories, right? So, like, it's basically all of what their whole point was that if they took all the, like, neural patterns in our brains and uploaded that into a computer, that would be our consciousness, right? It's just our memories. But, like, I don't agree with that. Like, what if that, like, just because it's all of the things that you remembered, like, and they put that in a computer, but that's supposed to be you?
Right.
Yeah, that doesn't
seems
like thinking there's something essential. They're basically just saying that all we are is just these neural patterns in our brains. And so if they move that into a computer, that's us.
It's like a clone, the age-old story of, if you clone somebody, are they gonna, actually be that same person? It's like, because it's the same idea. It's like, is it their soul or their whatever that makes them who they are, or can you take just all of their memories and all of their bullshit that you can put into a computer and put it into a brand new body that looks just like them, and will they be the exact same person and react the same and act the same and do all the same things? And I don't know that.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. And I don't know why, but
it's not until they figure out what consciousness is, which is not what I think it is. Like, unless they figure out what actual, like, our soul is, what's, like, that thing that makes us spiritual, basically. Like, inherently, people are kind of, usually, humanity is inherently spiritual. Like, we always have been since the caveman days. There's that thing. I think until they can figure out what the fuck that is, then they're not going to be able to. They're not going to be able to move us into a computer.
Yeah, and I don't think we'll ever actually get to a point where we understand fully the nature of what consciousness truly is.
Welcome to the salt of the streets, coming at you every week with this food for thought, hope